Beth. I'm the Steadfast Stitcher, and this is my Flosstube channel where we talk mostly about cross stitch, a little bit about life, and who else knows what I might throw in once in a while. I hope you're all doing great and getting in lots of fun stitchy time. If you're brand new to the channel, I do hope you'll hit like and subscribe below. And if you're returning, thank you so much. We have several new viewers since the last, several new subscribers, I should say, since my last Flosstube. And thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate you coming to join my little stitchy corner of the world. Now, I don't have very much to show today. I've got one whip, which just has a very small amount of stitching on it. I've got a finish, yay! And I have some haul and stitchy plans. So this should be a relatively quick video today, so I won't take up too much of your time. But first off, I'm so excited. You may have already seen this on Instagram, but I finished my baby sampler, yay! Whoops, and I just pulled out all the thread in the bag with it. There we go. And here it is. Welcome to the world. This is from Stitchrovia. And I really do love this pattern. It is so adorable. And I had a lot of fun stitching on it initially. But I've discovered I'm not very good at monogamy, at least when it comes to stitching. I like having variety and doing different things, and I found myself putting this off more than I should be, even though I was kind of on a time crunch to get this done. So I already have a frame picked out for this, so it is going to get framed up and then sent out in this Saturday's mail, and it'll be on its way. And I do hope she likes it. I know she doesn't watch Flosstube, but at least my channel, but I hope she likes it. Yeah, I've discovered, I think years ago I used to be fairly monogamous when it comes to stitching, but I was also doing other crafts at the time. And yeah, I'm not good at monogamous stitching. I kind of got really frustrated with this at the end. It's like, oh, I can't believe I'm not done yet. Have you ever felt like that with a project? It's just like, oh, I need to finish this, but I don't want to stitch right now. So work was pretty crazy over the last couple of weeks. So I didn't have as much stitchy time as I would normally like to. So I think that contributed to it as well. But I'm anxious to getting back to having a rotation of projects and working on different things. But again, I'm so happy this is finished. It's really a lovely pattern from Stitchrovia, and no fault of anybody's but myself that I kind of put this off into the last minute. But it's done, and it's going to be in a frame over the next couple of days, and it'll be out in the mail and gone. Yay! I can get back to stitching on everything. Alright, so really the only other pattern that I worked on, because this really came down to the wire, yesterday is when I actually finished it. So I hadn't really gotten anything else out except putting in 100 stitches on Tree of Life. And this is what I showed before that I wanted to work on. So really all I got done on this was about 100 stitches of 3371, and that was it last night. But this is going to be staying out at least for a few days and get some more progress on it. So this is what Tree of Life will look like when it's done. And this is a pretty big project. It's about, I think it was 160,000 stitches. So I'm going to be working on this for a long time. And unfortunately, all my scroll frames are tied up at the moment. I shouldn't say all, I only have a couple. But I would like to put this in a scroll frame, but I don't actually have one that's long enough for it. So that's on my future wish list. The Tree of Life is going to be gorgeous, and I'm already loving the colors. And even though you can just only see like a little square of the frame here, I'm already so much enjoying this piece. And I'm glad to have it back out again. So really, that's it that I've worked on in the last 2 weeks since I saw you last. It's kind of embarrassing. But I heard a Flosstuber, I think it was Stitchman Darcy. He was talking about that, even if you've only put, 10 or 20 stitches on something, that, it's still progress and it's still important, and go ahead and show it. So I'm showing it. Stitchman Darcy, I don't know if I've mentioned him before, but I do enjoy his channel. He's a hoot. He's wacky and fun, and I enjoy his channel, especially like him and Chris Cross Stitch. If I've had a really bad day, boom, I click on them. They are great to lift your mood up if you're having a bad day. So if you haven't checked out both of their channels, go do that. Let's see. Now, my plans for June are pretty basic. There's a few days I like to stick to, and I've mentioned them before. The 13th of the month is Stitch Halloween 13, or Dark 13 Stitching, over on Instagram. And so the 13th, I like to pull out a Halloween or a autumnal piece to work on. The 25th is Merry 25 Stitching. And so I'll pull out something that's Christmas or winter themed on the 25th of every month. And then the 29th is Long Dog Leap Day Style, which was started by 2 Martini Stitcher. Give me 1 second. So she started it on leap year. So every leap year. So the goal is to have it finished by the next leap year. So the 29th of every month, I pull out one of my long dog samplers. Now, Long Dog also came up on my WIPCO this month, so I will be working on my Long Dog samplers. And I'm not sure which one yet. I may actually break it into 2 and do 3 days on each for my WIPCO goal. And then I also had my other WIPCO goal is for stitching on a house. And plus I messed up all my WIPCO goals for May as well because of baby sampler. But that's done. I'm thrilled. So those are basically my plans. It's going to be a lot of swooey. Stitch what you want when you want. And it's going to be chill when it comes to stitching. It's going to be whatever I feel like working on. So do you have any plans for this month? I'd love to hear what your plans are for stitching in June. And if you're doing WIPCO or if you have any goals this month. I love our chats, and I love it when we get to interact in our chats. So let me know if you have any June plans below. So for my next video in 2 weeks, in between now and 2 weeks from now when I do my next video, I'm going to be heading to the mountains for a couple of days. I am probably going to have longer videos because I think hopefully you'd enjoy it, but I thought I would stick on like a couple photos in the front and more photos at the end of my video for anybody that wants to check out what I was up to or sites that I visited during my little weekend trip to the mountains. It's going to be a very touristy trip. Not a lot of hiking in this one, but a lot of walking. And I'm really looking forward to it. So I'll probably stick some pictures over the next couple of videos of where I'm visiting. And my first planned visit is to the Biltmore Estate. And I hesitated on that one, but I was so big on wanting to see the Monet exhibit that they currently have that I just forked it over and like, yeah, so I'm going to go to the Biltmore Estate and specifically to go see the Monet exhibit, which I'm really excited about. There's going to be a train ride, and there's going to be a visit to at least one cross-stitch store, possibly two. It depends if I can squeeze both of them in. And there's going to be a visit to a arts collaborative center, and they're going to have a whole pottery thing going on Saturday that I do want to check out. So yeah, I will probably have some pictures over my next couple of videos, the next 2 videos that I do. So I hope you enjoy them. And that's it for Life Update. So let me show you some of my haul. For those of you who may or may not be familiar, there is Teresa Kogut, who's an amazing designer, has a Patreon, and I'm subscribed to one of her Patreons, and she released 2 free new charts to Patreons this month. She does every month, and I would seriously go, if you like Teresa Kogut, check out her Patreon. I found it was well worth it. Besides the free patterns, there's a lot of great content with being a Patreon on her page, and I'm really glad that I am. So the 2 things I got were for Patreons this month, my free charts, were 1810 folk art, which I'm putting right over here in front of my face so you can get a good look at. And then the second one was Common People, and it has a quote on it from Abraham Lincoln that I really like. So those are my 2 new Patreons from Teresa Kogut. And she also has a Flosstube in case you haven't checked it out. I will link hers below. My other haul was, I'm completely blaming Kindred Stitcher for this. I had seen Stacy Nash Primitives patterns before. The I can't talk today. The Hollyberry Farms, and I was drawn to the stables, but I hadn't really decided if I wanted to get them. I wasn't sure from the pictures on the patterns if it was something that really interested me that much. Well, Kindred Stitcher had an update on her last Flosstube video with Summer at Hollyberry Farms. And oh my gosh, the picture on the pattern so doesn't do it justice. It is absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, I did decide to pick them up. When I'll start them, I have no idea. With the No New Starts group, now that I finished that baby sampler, I can start something else new. But both of these patterns from Stacy Nash Primitives are too large to qualify, as it has to be within certain size constraints, similar to the pattern that you finished. And these are bigger than that. I don't know why I'm always drawn to the BAPs, the Big Arts projects. I just love them. So, again, I'm going to put this over my face. First one is Stacy Nash Primitives, Summer at Hollyberry Farms. And just what really struck me when I saw this on Kindred Stitcher is how absolutely stunning that border is. And that just, it caught my attention right away, and I started looking at it a little more, and I'm like, yeah, I think I really like this pattern a lot. Because sometimes makes the hugest difference between seeing, you know, what the picture is on the pattern itself, like what you would see on Etsy or 123 Stitch, versus someone actually working on it. And this, just seeing it, just, yeah, I had to have it. It's gorgeous. The second one dun, 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 is the stables at Hollyberry Farm. And the horses totally got me on this one. Absolutely beautiful. This does have a lot of called for overdyes. And she also gives instructions. I'm not 100% sure if I'll do it or not, but she also gives instructions for using walnut crystals on it after you stitch it to give it more of an antique-y look. And thanks to one of my stitchy friends, Gail, I now have some walnut crystals. So who knows? I'm not sure if I'm brave enough to try it on something I've already stitched, but we'll see. Again, it's a ways off. I have to finish another large project this year in order to start one of these. And I'll tell you, I have several patterns waiting in the wings that I really want to start. So I've been waffling a little bit on keeping up on no new starts and continuing it through this year. Whether I will or not, it's kind of iffy right now, but I do like getting some real progress on my whips. So we'll see. I haven't made it's already June, so I've made it almost halfway through the year with no new starts. We'll see what happens. But that is my haul for this week. I will see you in 2 weeks after I get a little vacation time in. Well, it's not really a vacation. It's a few days up in the mountains that I'm really looking forward to. And I'll probably have lots of pictures. So take care of yourselves, everybody. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Have a great couple stitchy weeks. And can't wait to see you again in 2 weeks. See your comments below of what you're working on. Again, if you're brand new, I would love it if you hit like and subscribe. I'm getting fairly close to 1,000 subscribers, and when that happens, there's going to be some giveaways, which I am looking forward to because I find that fun to do giveaways. So that's it for now, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye, everybody.